Today, we're talking about an important issue that's often uncomfortable to talk about, but it's something that needs to be highlighted and discussed in order to erase the stigma behind the subject. I'm Specialist Brea Dubose, and I'm here today with First Sergeant Wiseman and First Sergeant Reynolds from the 2nd Cavalry Regiment. Today, we're talking about suicide prevention within our ranks. So before we begin, First Sergeants, can you tell me both about your specific units?
Hi, I'm First Sergeant Reynolds from HHT, 2nd Squadron, 2nd Cavalry Regiment.
And I'm First Sergeant Wiseman with Phoenix Troop in the Field Artillery Squadron, 2nd Cavalry Regiment.
Excellent. So First Sergeant Reynolds, I want to ask you, you've been in the Army for a while. Have you ever experienced or ever known a soldier that's battling with depression and suicidal thoughts? And if so, what did it look like?
Yes, I've dealt with it in my professional and personal life. Over the past couple of years, I've had a couple people in my life take their lives due to depression, and some of the signs and symptoms of that is drawing themselves away from those around them that love them because they're trying to deal with something personal and they're struggling with that. They really don't come out of that until they actually make the decision to do something to themselves, and that's really what we got to watch out for.
First Sergeant Wiseman, what would you tell a soldier in your formation that's struggling with suicidal thoughts?
Well, I'm here to tell you today that you're not alone, and there are many resources that can help you through difficult times, such as behavioral health, your unit chaplain, your unit assist representatives. And one other thing is that if you take the letters in the word depression and you rearrange them, you get the phrase, "I pressed on."
And First Sergeant, what are the barriers to soldiers seeking help, even when they know they're struggling or having those dark thoughts?
Well, one thing I could say is that soldiers feel if they're having issues with behavioral health is that they think that it's a stigma, and they feel that if they seek help with behavioral health, that they'll ostracize themselves from their units, their working groups, and things of that nature. And pretty much we're here to say that seeking help is a sign of courage, and talking to, your chaplain, BH specialists, and other leaders, you can find help and seek some answers to your life issues.
To our leaders out there, I can tell you that your most important ability is availability. So get out there and get to learn your soldiers so that way you can notice the changes in their behavior. Suicidal ideations and deaths are typically due to substance abuse and alcohol abuse, along with relationship problems, a loss of a loved one, and or financial concerns. So if you're not out there and you don't know their behaviors, it's hard to notice these changes.
That's really powerful. And First Sergeant Reynolds, I wanted to ask you, what can we do as soldiers and even community members if we see the signs of someone dealing with depression or suicidal thoughts?
It's good that you mentioned community members because it's not just our soldiers that have to deal with our life's issues. Being in a rapidly deploying unit like 2CR, I think that it's important we include our family members. We have soldiers that leave behind family members and small children, and they're left to deal with some of the issues that the soldiers can't handle while they're deployed forward. And simply asking people if they need help or if they're having issues can have a positive effect on everyday life.
Well, I just want to thank you, First Sergeant Wiseman and First Sergeant Reynolds, for taking the time to talk to me about suicide prevention and the steps we can take to assist those who need help.
Thank you.
Always ready.